Oh, hey guys, what are you doing here? Welcome to my channel, Clemente Collector. I'm Theo, and today I'm gonna do no editing. I'm gonna do a one shoot. I got an important story to tell. I'm just gonna speak from the heart. So it's a story I didn't think I'd ever tell on here, but I changed my mind on it. I think it's important. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So the story starts off with my origin, which you guys have heard about 2 years ago. I went over to my dad's house. I never knew any. I never collected vintage. Never knew anything about vintage cards. And he pulls three boxes out of the attic. It's 1960, 1961, and 1962 Topps cards. I'll show a picture on the screen of the boxes. The cards are just rubber banded together, and start going through them with them. And he has every card in series 1, 2, 3, and 4 for 1962 Topps, the wood grain background. And he has about 100 cards of the 62 and the 61 set. So as we're going through this together, and he's telling me about some of the players, and I start going on eBay and looking at what some of the bigger names that I knew about, Mantle, Mays, Aaron, Clemente, what their cards were selling for. I told him, like, there's actually a lot more money than you think here. So after going through them with him, he said, hey, I'm not getting any younger. Why don't you sell these for me? So I said, okay, I have an eBay account. So I took the cards home. I picked out all the Hall of Famers. I went on PSA registry and saw which cards were worth the most. And then I sent those cards into Nash Cards to send to PSA. Literally 2 days later, Nash Cards reached out to me and says PSA is raising their price to $25. And I said, well, I don't know. That seems like a lot. I told them to send the cards back. So they send the cards back to me. In the meantime, I'm waiting to figure out, if it's worth it, and PSA closes down. So now I'm like, oh man. So I do some more research about other grading companies and find that SGC has good resale value. But I was really skeptical on what to do with the 1961 Mantle, which I'll show on the screen. It was definitely the best card and the most high valued card. And I noticed that the PSA grades in that card would sell for a lot more than the SGC. So I held that card and I sent about 20 Hall of Famers in back to Nash Cards to go to SGC. I actually made a video. It has under 50 views. I'll show you what it looks like on the screen, but I actually posted a video on my channel of that SGC return of those Hall of Famers. So while I was waiting for those cards to come back, I start watching YouTube videos about vintage baseball cards, not only to learn more about what I was going to sell, but also because I really fell in love with them. I thought they were so cool, and I didn't know what other 60s sets look like. So I started watching videos. As a child, I always looked up to Roberto Clemente. Not just because of what he did on the field, but because of what he did off the field. The humanitarian he was, how he tragically died. I just always thought, that was the type of player that, every kid should look up to. He's literally a one of one. And after seeing my dad's Roberto Clemente cards, I knew, this was an opportunity for me to own vintage cards. I reached out to my dad while the cards were in grading, and I said, listen, I know you were going to give me a percentage of the money. Why can I just keep these Clemente cards and keep the Pittsburgh Pirates cards? I've always been a Pirates fan. He said, yes, you can do that. That's fine. So the cards came back. I sent them to PWCCC before they got thrown off of eBay, and PWCCC sold the Hall of Fame cards. And then I sent the commons and star cards over to hoodies, and I lotted them up. And hoodies sold all the raw and all the ungraded cards. Hoodies sold those, and did a great job. So all I had left was a 61 Mantle card. I saw that PSA finally opened back up, $50 a card. I sent the Mantle in for $50. Took like, I want to say 5 to 6 months to get it back. Got it back, and it got a PSA 6, showed on the screen. After it got a PSA 6, I reached back out to my father. He said, yeah, that's great, let's sell it. I sent that to hoodies. It sold for $960. I actually looked at prices recently, and that's pretty accurate of what that card would sell for today. So not too bad. So I got all the cash together, went over to my father's house. It was in the thousands. I'm not going to say how much it was. I handed him the money. He handed it right back. He said, I want you to keep that money. You were going to have those cards anyways. I don't need this money. You keep it. I was kind of blown away by the generosity. That's a lot of money to give somebody. But it was a little bit bittersweet for me, because after doing all the research and falling in love with vintage, I kind of wish I knew that ahead of time. I might have at least kept some of the cards that were in the $100 range and under. Like, for example, the Manager's Dream card with Mantle and Maze on it was gorgeous. But I was very thankful. I went home. I told my wife. She could not believe it. She was over the moon. We just ran into all this extra money that we didn't have planned. So she noticed that I was a little bit down, and she didn't understand why. And I explained to her, what I just said. I really would have liked to keep some more of those cards, especially the Mantle. It's a once-in-a-lifetime card for me. But I got over it. We moved on. As I go on my journey, I'm picking up Clemente cards. I'm picking up Clemente cards. I get the whole run done, but the rookie card, and she talks to me about it. I explain to her, it's something that I might get when I'm older, but I know I'm not going to be able to complete this run. And she said, hey, we just ran into money we didn't expect. She said, buy your dream card. I want you to have it. My wife is great. I can't believe she did that. So I bought my dream card. I bought my Roberto Clemente rookie card. And I wouldn't have been able to if I didn't sell my dad's cards. So the story turned out great for me. I just didn't know how to tell it. But now let's go into today. I've always kept in the back of my head, I don't have a Mantle card in my collection. It's always bothered me. Every great collector has a Mantle card, and I had 3 of them. I mean, I sold all 3 of them. Adam from Splendid Sports Card actually had a post. He wanted us to guess how much the Mantle rookie card would sell for. And I did a little bit of research, and I said, hey, what's it hurt? I put in $3.2 million. I'll show it on the screen. Well, the card ended up selling for $3.192 million. So I was off by $8,000. I had no clue until Adam reached back out to me and told me I was that close. I was like, wow, that is cool. He said, the contest was only for a $7 eBay card. I'm not going to, sit here and say, I won all this money or something like that. But it was just cool. I mean, he didn't have to do that. So I was really excited. And then I said to myself, you know what? I literally, that night, Adam sent me that message. I said, maybe I could spend this towards a Mantle card that I can afford. So I literally go on eBay and I start looking. I do like I always do. What's coming up? What's ending soon? And I see a Mantle piece that's ending in 5 hours, and nobody's bid on it yet. And I'm just like, man, that's really awesome. I don't know why nobody bid on this yet. I would love this to be the Mantle piece in my collection. So I set an alarm on my phone so I can go in there and snipe. I go in there to snipe. I make a bid. I win the auction. Um, can't believe it. I honestly, I never thought I would get something like this so cheap. So, I used a gift card for part of it, used my money for the rest. But I just think it was meant to be. Like literally, it was the same night. I just think it was meant to be. Just so happy, and I want to show it to you guys. um, this is what I bought, and this is the only mantle I have in my collection. It's a 1968 Mickey Mantle poster from Topps. That's sick, isn't it? I'm so excited. So I finally got my mantelpiece, no pun intended, and I'm thrilled of how the story turned out. It was a happy ending, and I got my Clemente run done. I got my mantle, and even though I don't have all my father's cards, I'm grateful for what I do have, and and this will be something that I'll keep forever. Thank you guys for watching.